in something that doesn't really have like images. We can have two dots in a line and we see a face in it. It's not actually anything near a face.
Yeah.
It's just us perceiving something onto it. Right.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you just believe there should be no abortion, period? Even if
I-
it's rape
I-
or incest or the life of the mother is at risk?
Yeah, I don't believe it at all, because I believe that it's a life, and why should we, because somebody else did something wrong to you, you're pregnant, why should you be able to decide, okay, I don't want this child anymore? You know what I'm saying? How come we get to decide
But if
who
you're
lives
gonna-
and who dies?
If you're gonna die from it, you're choosing that life, if it's a life, over the mother's life.
In that context, even the Bible places, like coming from a Christian home, even the Bible places the mother's life above the baby's life in situations like that where the mother would die. And
We're at.
Deuteronomy, I think.
Because I see all through the Bible, the mother died because they had a baby,
Right.
know.
Oh, abortion is totally is fine in the Bible. I don't know the specific verses, but it talks about in one verse bitter water. If you know what that is, no. Bitter water it's a chemical that produces that actually makes you miscarry, and it was promoted in the Bible. I think it was. I want to say Deuteronomy or Exodus.
So bitter water. I have a Bible search here. Let me just search it real quick because I want to see exactly where that's
Yeah,
at.
it was bitter water. The definition of it probably changes within. Well, how it's said probably changes within the version.
Okay, is that how it's spelled there?
Yeah, but it's
Because there is
bitter.
Okay, so let me put a space there.
Yeah. I don't know, the translations might be different because there's like tons of versions of the Bible, but I don't know. I did hear that though.
Are you with a group?
I'm by myself. There was a couple verses that came up with bitter water, but from what I see.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. God, there was in the Bible there was a point to where the disciples stopped some children from coming to him. And Jesus said that it's better for somebody to have a millstone hanged about their neck and they're drowned in the sea than for them to stop those little ones. So why would God say, oh, okay, it's okay to kill a little one, but then it's the worst thing that happens if you even allow it to stop it from coming to you?
Little one is
only valid if you actually believe there's a God.
Right.
Well, do you get? Where'd we come from?
Oh,
Don't
let's
talk
get
about
into
that.
this.
Do not talk
So where do you want to
that.
start from? Do you want to start from like the beginning of the universe in which like all matter arose?
Well, maybe a real short version. Where we come
I'm
from?
interrupting this. Have you read Thomas Aquinas?
I've not. No.
Okay. Don't even bring Thomas Aquinas
Okay,
into it.
I won't. Okay, so
Well, do you believe in evolution
yeah.
and not God? So do you think that's logical that my human eye, that thing is complex?
Oh, the human eye argument. I love this one. Okay, so there was this cell or whatever, this a photosensitive cell. So what that means is it can perceive light in literally all directions and react to that stimuli. We have this well documented. That cell then changed into a conographic photosensitive cell where it could see in a certain way. So the first one evolved into that one over countless generations and stuff, and we have this documented. That then turned into a more conoscopic black and white version of the eye, and then from there proteins built and stuff like that, and we get the colored eye we have today. But saying that our eye is fully developed or whatever is kind of
So evolution. You believe in evolution.
Yeah.
Okay, so you believe that we evolved.
Yeah.
So how come we stopped evolving?
we didn't. Why do you?
I would say that this world is devolving, wouldn't you? We're out killing our own for one thing.
Devolving. Well, that's a moral, on the moral landscape.
Killing our
This
own in
is
a lot of different
biologically. So we're constantly evolving. We're not more evolved than any other animal.
How have you evolved? I mean, I'm not talking about stuff that you learn and all that stuff, because that's growth. How have you evolved?
I can't personally evolve because I'm already born as a like person, so it has to be through generations. And the difference between like me and you can be as simple as an allele. Do you have a hitchhiker's thumb? Do you know? Put your thumb up. Thumb up. No, you don't have hitchhiker's thumb.
Is it maybe it's because it was broken? Maybe no, I'm just kidding.
No.
It wasn't broken.
Hitchhiker's thumb has.
It's a different angle.
Yeah, it's a different angle. It angles like that.
Okay, so what's your point with that though?
It's an allele. No, we're.
So that's is it hitchhiker's thumb? Is that a good thing to have? Or is that?
It's not. It's not beneficial. It just shows that change can happen within a species. Widow's peak. Widow's peak is another thing where you have the curve of the hairline. What's a better one? Dimples.
So it sounds like growth to me.
No, they're all alleles and they're all passed down by your parents. You cannot grow.
So it's genetic.
Yeah, you cannot grow the genes to make a dimple. You cannot grow genes to make a hitchhiker's thumb.
Okay, but how does that prove evolution?
That is one example of how there's a difference between species. There are things that the thing with us in particular as humans, we have adaptation, which allows us to break away from like the pure evolutionary cycle type thing. It makes it a lot slower because we don't. Our people don't die as quickly from a certain like disease or something.
So when did evolution jump into? When did we start? When did it become like in our schools and all that stuff? When did that start?
I'm actually not sure. It was pretty close because Darwin came up with the idea, and then his idea needed to be theorized and stuff like that.
Okay, so how many years would you say that was?
Darwin?
Years ago?
Yeah. Okay, and how many years would you take for these generations to happen to prove evolution?
Evolution didn't start with Darwin. We didn't start evolving. It's the fossil evidence and stuff like that kind of proves that we have an evolutionary process, and we have a lot better genetic technology now that we can actually see genetic differences in between like human beings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you believe that?
Yes, because it's awesome. I love it.
Don't get him started on black holes.
Yeah.
Black holes are awesome.
Black molds, is that what you
Black
said?
holes.
Oh, black holes.
I have a question. So you really think like those kind of pictures are really going to move people to join what you think?
Well, what did you think when you saw it?
I was frankly disturbed that it was in a public place.
We should all be disturbed that this is happening in our country,
It's
you know?
graphic, and there's sometimes children on this campus.
So why is that embarrassing, though?
I didn't say it's embarrassing.
Well, why are we all trying to hide it? You know,
We should really like look at it that for him on campus either no notice of that just publicly.
Right. Well,
yeah, but it.
And then the class, if you're actually taking the class.
right.
I don't know. I'm just curious as to if you think that
It's
that really
for
works.
shock appeal, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, you know, I want people to see that what's actually happening, you know, and we should. Hey, guess what? You know, it's happening in our country. You know, it's sad, but this is what has to happen in order for it to stop. You know, people rising up against it. You know.
Well, it's happening in like every country, in like every
Yeah.
developed country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, well, yeah,
Or state
regardless.
commissions.
What do you want? So people, it's kind of like sex. They're gonna have it anyways. Do you want a country that legalizes abortion so we can make it safe, or do you want the abortions to happen in unsafe environments and stuff like that? Because you're not going to change people who just because you have a photo, or you're not going to change a whole societal influence just because you're
Well,
showing graphic.
just because we make it safe, does that make it right?
Well, getting away from is it?
Everything that Hitler did in Germany
Well, yeah,
was legal.
You're right, because it's safe for the person having it, but it still destroys the life. I agree.
Yeah.
It is. So you're fine with hurting the individual or the mother.
Me too.
Individual or the mother, because you think this is morally reprehensible more than the mother's safety or the person's safety that is having it.
Yeah, well, you know, it basically, if somebody didn't believe in God, you know, whatever, you know, but the thing is that God is real. I mean, have you ever studied any of that at all, or?
I studied theology a lot.
I mean, do you guys believe in God, or?
Yeah, I come from a Christian household. My mom teaches theology, philosophy, history, Bible. And something that even she says constantly is, regardless of whether or not the Bible is true, regardless of not Jesus is real, God is real, this isn't a Christian country. Just because it was based on Christian morals doesn't mean that you can hold everyone
If it was
accountable.
based on Christian morals,
Well, it
either,
was,
like
because they're
deism and
supposed to
stuff
be.
like
You
that.
want me to get into
Deism.
that?
So-
Okay.
Go ahead, continue.
Anyways, shut up. Anyways, you can't hold them responsible for that because freedom of religion. You can't hold someone to your religion because you want to, because you consider it
So
right.
will God hold you accountable for the wrong you've done on this earth, wherever you live? You know, if I live over in Germany and maybe it doesn't have, I don't know what their background is, but if it doesn't have a Christian background, so I can go over there and do whatever I want, and then I'm fine. You know.
The laws of the United States aren't going to apply in heaven, so just because God holds you accountable doesn't mean the state can hold you accountable.
So are you saying the laws, we need to obey the laws of where we're at, and that makes it right before God? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying that you cannot hold people who are not Christian to Christian beliefs and morals because that's God's job.
So I'm not here to make anybody believe anything. See, there is a heaven and there is a hell. I'm here to tell you guys that.
You're here to tell us to stop killing babies.
No, I'm here for two reasons. I'm here for this and I'm here for that. You know, I mean, so are you guys, the Bible says it's appointed man for man wants to die and then the judgment. When you guys die, you're going to stand before God. That's all there is to it. Whether anybody believes in it or not, you know, you will stand before God.
I know, and I've acknowledged that, but regardless of whether or not we're going to stand before God, it's not the government's responsibility to say, hey, we're going to stand before God, this is going to happen, so we're not doing this.
I might be confused on what you're saying.
What is your understanding of my point?
I'm not sure. It sounds like, to me, I'm understanding it as, you know, okay, maybe the government says it's okay to do something, so we're not held accountable for that before God.
If I get what you're saying, you're talking about like getting the government away from like a theocracy, because not everyone believes in this certain like ideology
and
that you
ultimately
believe.
that's your opinion and your religion's opinion that we will be held before God.
You can't make a theocratic nation just
So there,
because
you guys don't believe that there's one truth.
I'm agnostic.
No, I don't
So
believe
I'm
in truth
searching,
at all.
But I don't
So
know if anyone truly knows.
I believe in...
So God just put us here, or we evolved and we're just here, you know?
Yeah, I don't believe. Well, personally, I don't believe in the existence of God, but I don't think like even to debate what you're saying, I have to like go to that extreme. So.
Well, here's the thing. Here's how I see
How much
it.
history do you know? Do you know about the split of the Church of England?
I don't. History's not really my thing, but.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if I can.
Well, let me just say this, because I really don't have a lot of time either. You know, God made the world. He made the rules. So if I believe something differently, does that mean that that's okay, and then God's going to just accept that?
No, that's between you and God, not you and the state.
So so you believe in God. I think this is part of what you were trying to explain to me earlier. So if somebody else is living in another country that hasn't had that background or whatever, and are they accountable for what they do?
Yes. Everyone is held accountable before God. We learn that in a bunch of different spots, including Revelation, where it specifically states it. And
If you believe in that.
going by biblical standards.
Yeah.
If we're all held responsible, that's still only between us
If
and
it's on
God.
camera, you're a despicable fucking human being, and it's not your choice, it's women's choices. If you can't have that in your body, who's your choice to steal it?
Hey, so what about this person's choice right here? Did this person right here have a choice?
They're not a person. They are a clump of cells. If someone was raped and that's the result of it, do you think that that's okay?
So it's okay to take the sin of another and then say it's okay to commit another wrong. somebody did this to me, so I'm going to kill that child because this was done to me.
Oh,
Is that right?
Yes, that is exactly right.
How so?
The living are more important than a bunch of clumps of cells that could be just gone.
Do you like everything that the government does?
I don't care about what the government
Would you
does.
like it if the government came in and told you every little thing that you had to do?
No, I wouldn't even give a fuck because.
Well, what about this person here?
People have the choice
That's not a
to
person.
do an abortion too. They have the choice not to have an abortion.
But
That is their choice.
so it's okay to have an abortion because they have a choice?
I'm just saying there is a choice available. So
Yeah.
you have a choice not to. You can.
Yeah, we have a choice. We have a choice not to go out and commit murder. We have a choice to not do all these things. We have a choice to not steal, not lie.
So you're gonna commit rape to you're gonna compare that to murder? That like a living person, I could shoot this guy right here, and it would be the same as a woman having an abortion from being raped.
This is a
That's
human
the same in
being.
your book.
This is a human being right here.
Have they experienced life like this man has right here?
Not exactly. This
Not
is
exactly,
this is a
so-
stage of development. You were once here.
Yeah, I was once there. So,
We were all once there, but we were all planned.
What do you mean
Why
you're all
can't
planned?
abortion just be everybody's choice?
exactly.
If they don't want to do it, they don't have to.
See,
if they want to, fine by me.
I agree. It is everybody's choice, but that doesn't make it right. You're still committed. You're still killing another soul. If I have kids, and they are no different than this. Yeah, I do.
How would you feel if 16 she gets pregnant and she wanted to get an abortion because she doesn't like the father or that she's not ready? How do you feel then?
So if I'm not ready to take care of my kids, or I don't like whatever, I can just kill them. Is that what you're saying?
That's not answering the
But you
question.
can't adopt that away. You can't adopt a fetus away.
If somebody doesn't want a fetus, you can't just pull it out and say, "Oh, it belongs to somebody else."
I guess it's just more of an opinion of you guys think it's a fetus, you know? This one right here had a beating heart. You stop that heart, you end life.
Well,
Life
yeah,
ends
the
every
brain-
day.
The brain is.
But is that okay?
It's a part of life.
Sever the brain cells.
So it's survival of the fittest then, or because life ends, it's all right, you know? I can go kill whoever I want, and it's okay. It's
The
just,
bottom line is that you're not a woman, and that can't happen to you. So why is it your decision?
how is it your decision as a man
It's
to
not
say?
ours, it's not his, it's not his, it's theirs
It's
too.
him making the decision to give people who can get pregnant a choice.
But who gets to say that it's my decision whether or not I want to kill a baby or not?
It's their decision because it's their body and it's their fucking world.
But is that
And it's
okay?
their potential.
Yes, it is.
Is that
If I
okay?
get pregnant at my age, which is 17, and my mom decides she's going to kick me out, that means that not only am I unwilling to care for myself, I'm also unable to care for a possible child, pregnancy, anything like that. And if they're providing it for free, and I choose to take advantage of the offer, then that removes from the, I don't want to say equation, but
It made it right for you because you had some issues and couldn't take care of the baby, or
Yeah.
is that still right before God?
no.
That you ended a life?
I would like to quickly interrupt, but what is your idea on repenting?
I'll remember this. God flooded the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, killing all life on it that was not on Noah's Ark.
And then he promised you
That was okay with God.
But is it okay for you? The Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." God is the one that makes the
Thou
rules.
shalt
So
not
literally
kill,
you're-
then why do we have war?
Literally, your moral compass
You
is
condemn
that if
war.
God
Is
allows
it
God can do anything.
is it right?
War?
Tell me if it's right.
No,
We're
it's
asking
not
you,
right.
is
But we
it
need
right?
people to fight for you to stand here and do this.
People want to die for
And
your
say,
right to
is
stand
war
here
right?
and do that.
Okay, but what about this person's rights?
They don't have rights.
You know, everybody
They're not born.
everybody here in America is always, you know, all my rights are getting taken away. Everybody gets all upset about that, you know, and they'll go kill their own baby. This person didn't even have a chance.
Until that baby leaves that mother's womb, it is not someone else's choice. It is hers.
So what magically makes it a baby and a child once it comes out of the womb?
Well, but you still haven't defined what human is. You said, so you're saying the same, like, there's, okay.
It's
so
the
if I
image
had
of God.
If I had like a two-month-old baby and I was holding it here and I had literally the petri dish full of the cells that could expand to a child, and I had to drop one, which one would you